Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 14 of the Empowered Psychology podcast. My name is Cristela, and I am the host and the founder of Empowered Psychology. And Empowered Psychology is an educational platform and community that gives a voice to those with visible and invisible illnesses with the hopes of empowering others to overcome adversity and create their dream lives. So yes, I am so excited for today's video because I just finished my Lupus Conqueror testimony series. It was super long, 8 episodes, and I am just so proud of myself and so honored to be sharing my story. But now I'm going to transition into another passion of mine, which is psychology and intellectual conversations. Yes, I have a degree in psychology and sociology from the University of Texas at Austin. I am about to start my master's program in psychology at New York University. So yes, I am quite the scholar. And as an aspiring psychologist, I have spent a lot of time reflecting on my own life, researching and learning in my classes, honestly learning from the best. And I have come up with just a plethora of topics to discuss about psychology. So I am so excited because today is episode 1 of the 5 pillars of empowered psychology. So this is a new series here on my podcast and on my platform, and we are going to be talking about the 5 pillars of empowered psychology. So what are the 5 pillars of empowered psychology? Okay, well, the first pillar is awareness. The second pillar is intention. The third pillar is diligence. The fourth pillar is wisdom. And the 5th pillar is open-mindedness. So today we are going to be talking about the first pillar, which is awareness/self-awareness. So these are the 5 pillars by which I live my life. And also these are the 5 pillars that are going to guide you in the conquering process. So what is the conquering process? Okay, so as I was telling my testimony about lupus, I realized that I was more than a survivor and a warrior. I am a conqueror, and I conquered lupus. And because of that, I have created this philosophy, which is the conquering process. So what is the conquering process? The conquering process is the process that you need to go through in order to put an end to your suffering. Yes, I said put an end to your suffering. Recently, in the past few years, I have taken a lot of time to heal myself, HEAL. And it has been extremely hard. It is very, very hard, but it has been 100% worth it. And I have found that I have literally been able to put an end to my suffering and create a whole new mind for myself, a whole new home, because your home is your mind. And I have to share this information with the world because too many people have fallen into the trap of thinking that they have to live this way. They have to be chained down to their traumas. They have to be chained down to their past. They have to be chained down to destructive behaviors and thought patterns. And that is not the truth. The truth is that you are a unique and valuable, talented, and amazing human being that deserves to get the most out of this life. You only have one life. One. And for me, I'm not going to waste it being depressed and deteriorating myself. So this conquering process, it is a journey, okay? It is not easy, but it is 100% worth it. And I can truly say today that I am experiencing life for the gift that it is. I am truly happy, living, thriving, learning, and just being me. And it was all thanks to this philosophy that I created and I went through during those 2 years I really took to heal. And one thing I want to say, I really love on the internet how there's a lot of conversation about healing and putting an end to trauma. I love that. But I do not agree with the philosophy that it's a long journey that never ends. I put my trauma to an end. I put my lupus to an end. I put my destructive behaviors to an end. I put my destructive thought patterns to an end. And it's a work in process. Yes, I'm not going to lie. I haven't been perfect. I've messed up here and there. But I have learned and I have seen the changes that I've permanently made in my head. So it is possible to heal. And here on this channel, I want to teach people how to conquer and heal so y'all can live y'all's best lives, because y'all are talented, loving, gifted, and amazing individuals who need to share their gifts with the world. Y'all need to share it and y'all need to live y'all's best lives. So this is for y'all. So yes, that was my little rant and let's get started. So what is awareness? Okay, well, here on this platform, I combine, my experiences also with research and what the field of psychology and other disciplines have to say. So, what is awareness? Well, awareness is the state or ability to perceive, to feel, or to be conscious of events, objects, or sensory patterns. That is awareness. Now, what is self-awareness? So this definition comes from Shelley Duvall and Robert Wickland, and it says that self-awareness is the ability to focus on yourself and how your actions, thoughts, or emotions do or do not align with your internal goals and standards. Why is awareness the number one pillar for empowered psychology? Because without awareness, you don't know what's going on, okay? A lot of people are chronically disassociated because they are not aware of who they are or what is going on. So in order for you to create your dream life, you have to be aware of who you are and how you fit into your world, because this is your world. The experience that you have on this earth is yours, and no one will ever have that experience. So it is very important to be aware and self-aware in order to even start this journey of the conquering process. So I wrote this: awareness and self-awareness are the most powerful tools and skills one can have. Yes, guys, this is a skill. This is a skill, and in order to master a skill, it's going to take time. And I want to say that right now. This is something that is going to take time. Maybe even a lot of time, but it is worth it, okay? In order to overcome adversity and fulfill our destiny, we must be aware of what we do, what we think, and how we feel. Once you master the skill of awareness and self-awareness, you will be unstoppable. Yes, you will. And I mean, this has taken me a lot of time to become aware, and every day I'm growing. I'm becoming aware of things that I never even knew were in my life. So yes, it is a lot. It's a skill that you have to develop and that takes time. But once you get a hang of it, it's just amazing. The things that will happen, the choices that you will make, the things that you will unlock within yourself that you didn't even know that you had, such as talents, intelligence, creativity. So yes, very important skill to have. And another reason awareness is important is because it highlights what we want to work on and what we need to work on. Guys, the conquering process and developing the skill of awareness and self-awareness is not pretty. You're going to see and have to face parts of yourself that you do not want to face. But if you are willing to open your mind with love and release judgment, and just accept, okay, there's bad parts about myself. There's things that I've done that I'm not proud of. There are things that I'm still doing that I'm not proud of. This is something I want to change about myself. If you open yourself up to compassion and love, you will be able to heal from that. There is nothing wrong with admitting that you are flawed. There is nothing wrong. And that's why I feel like awareness is really important, because for me, most of all, it has highlighted what I need to work on. And by me working on that, because most people aren't going to do that. Most people, their pride and their ego is too big to even accept that they have made mistakes and that they have hurt people and they have hurt themselves and they are currently hurting themselves. But for the people who are willing to go through that and are willing to face that, you are going to evolve in ways that are so amazing, and you're going to live a very happy and successful life, because when you work on those things, all you can really do is become a better person. That's it. Like, all you can really do is become a better person. Don't be afraid. I know it's scary to work on these things, because you may think, oh my God, I'm so bad. Oh my God, I can't believe I did that. Oh my God, I ruined this. It's so easy to fall into the trap of rumination, but it's also easy to take another approach and learn and say, okay, this is what happened. That was the result of what happened, and I'm not going to do that again. Boom. That's how you end it, guys. And most of all, why awareness/self-awareness is important is because without awareness, one cannot identify their purpose. And without their purpose, there is no life. Without knowing your purpose, there's literally no reason for you to enjoy life if you don't have purpose. So yes, you need to cultivate and develop the skill of awareness/self-awareness in order to create your dream life and put an end to your suffering. So now I want to tie in what research has said about self-awareness. So to my surprise, but not really, after I reflected, self-awareness has had a really, really bad reputation within the research world. Why? Okay, well, let's get into it. So self-awareness has been known as the human dilemma. And this is discussed in Rollo May, who is an American psychologist. It was discussed in his book that he wrote in 1967, and it's called The Human Dilemma. So self-awareness has had a negative reputation in social/clinical psychology because it has been tied to negative affect. So what is negative affect? So negative affect is like the internal feelings that occur when one has failed to achieve a goal or to avoid a threat, or when one is not satisfied with the current state of affairs. So, yeah, it has had a bad rep because it has been tied to depression, negative affect, suicide, y'all, and dysfunction. And there are even self-awareness theories of depression. So, why do I think this is? Well, I think this is a really important thing to know, and a really, really important thing for me to educate you guys on, because you embarking on this conquering journey and developing the skill of awareness/self-awareness is actually very dangerous. It's like a slippery slope. And luckily for me, I had help along this journey in healing my mind. But some people may not have help, and they may be trying to do this on your own. One, I do not recommend anybody doing anything on their own. I have said that in my previous podcast, especially during my Lupus Conqueror testimony. I do not think, actually I know for a fact that we as humans are not meant to be alone. So you shouldn't be doing anything alone. You need support, okay? Now, self-awareness/awareness can be tricky, because I want to encourage you guys to do it in a place of love. Open your heart, open your mind, be self-compassionate while you're going on this journey. Because if you are not coming from that foundation, you will then be coming from a foundation of judgment and shame. And when you become aware and self-aware and that foundation, it's going to be horrible. It's going to be horrible. I can see why there are self-awareness theories tied to depression and why it can lead to negative affect and suicide, because it's overwhelming. It is overwhelming, and it's not enough for the mind and your spirit to take. So you have to be very careful. That's why I'm saying that it takes time, because you can't do this in 1 week. It's going to take time to really unlock yourself, basically. And you have to be really, really, really careful with the way that you treat yourself and the way that you speak to yourself and the way that you analyze the things that you will discover within yourself and your life and the people around you when you're cultivating the skill of awareness and self-awareness. Because if you do it wrong, it is very dangerous, and that is what research says. Now, although it has had a bad rep within research, now they are starting to switch gears and show it in a new light, because it does develop, and it can develop, a guilty conscience, but it has redeeming qualities as well. So what are the redeeming qualities of self-awareness? Well, it helps people develop constructive, objective, and malleable perspectives. It also helps people develop self-control. It boosts creativity, and it boosts self-esteem. And honestly, guys, like I said, when you do this right, and when you do it off a foundation of love for yourself and your life and your passions and your dreams, you will be able to heal. Okay? And I'm not going to say it's pretty all the time. There are times where I have been overwhelmed, and I have had to take a step back and really evaluate what's happening. And most of the time that I have been overwhelmed, it's because I've really internalized the shame and the guilt and the judgment. And we do not need to do that to ourselves. We are human. We live in a very complex world. Very complex. There are things that are constantly coming at us with pressures that we don't even realize are pressures, and things happen. So don't judge yourself, guys. Like, don't. Just open your heart, I've said this a million times, but it's very important. I want you to really get this. Be nice to yourself. Love yourself, because you need yourself in this journey. So now in the research world, they're really switching into resolving this human dilemma. So this is the biggest takeaways I took from all the literature reviews I did. If you are unaware how to do this properly, it will lead to suffering. And you need to be aware of this: rumination versus reflection. So what is rumination? So rumination is repetitive thinking or dwelling on negative feelings and distress and their causes and consequences. Rumination will destroy your life. Rumination will literally destroy your life. Do not ruminate, guys. Do not. I'm really excited to keep doing these videos, because I really want to do a video specifically focused on how your brain works, how your thoughts are designed to work. And I'm just going to give a brief rundown, but your thoughts are designed to build on top of each other. Your thoughts will not stop building until you put an end to it. But that's the beauty. You can put an end to the thought. You can put an end to a thought and have another thought. That is the beauty. So I encourage you guys to do that. And like I said, I will be making a video specifically on that topic, but I had to, tell you about it now, so you can have that in your mind. You can have that weapon to cut off those negative thoughts. But you have to be aware of rumination versus reflection. Reflection is mature. Reflection is saying, okay, I did this, or this happened. This is what came out of it. This is something that I want to change. And there you go. Rumination versus reflection. You have to replace the rumination with reflection. And when you do that, you will see the changes in your mind and in your life. And also accountability. Accountability is super, super, super important to developing the skill of awareness and self-awareness, and also the conquering process. You have to be accountable, and that does not mean that you're weak. That does not mean that you're a bad person. If anything, it means that you are a strong person. It means that you are a person who wants to live their best life and live an honest life with yourself and others. So it is not a weakness. If anything, it is the biggest strength that a person can have. Now, some other key takeaways that I want to share with y'all is that your level of self-awareness, it's all based on you. It is very individualized. So I encourage you guys to take your own approach, create your own approach to heal. Y'all can use my approach because I want y'all to use this, but do it in your own unique way, because we are all different, and what works for me may not work for you. And that's actually the beauty of life, because it just shows how there's so many interpretations to things, and that's just amazing in my opinion. Okay, and also you need to put reasonable standards for yourself, and that's why I highlight that this is going to take time, and you need to be loving and patient with yourself, because guys, standards is also, I would say, pretty deadly. So in 1991, Baumeister came up with a suicide model, and he stated that the first step towards self-destruction is feeling that life has fallen short of one's expectation. Please set realistic expectations for yourself, because if you don't, it can be detrimental. As you can see, there's a whole suicide model based on setting high expectations that you can't meet. And also perfectionism, which doesn't exist, because none of us are perfect. Nobody is perfect. Nothing on this earth is perfect. Perfectionist standards more commonly lead to chronic self-criticism. So, guys, I encourage you to be optimistic about your ability to meet your standards and set the lowest standard possible beginning this process. And then as you get stronger, you can start setting those big standards, but do not play yourself. Do not play yourself, because I want you guys to heal. I want you guys to conquer your life and create your dream life. And I do not want you guys to self-destruct in the process. So I want you to set standards for yourself that you feel like you can achieve. And I want you to be optimistic about this journey. And optimism is like one of the most like powerful emotions that I use all the time. I'm just naturally optimistic, really, because it fills you with hope, and it fills you with the brighter side of things. Even in the times when I'm down, I'm optimistic that this pain and this sadness and this reflection is actually going to lead to more love, more happiness, and more intelligence. So I really encourage you guys to take this information and apply it to your life. Now, the last thing that I want to talk about to close off this episode is my biggest takeaways from researching awareness / self-awareness / cultivating and developing the skill of awareness / self-awareness in my life. First of all, I want to say that I am so freaking proud of myself. I am so freaking proud of myself because I really started this journey at the age of 21, which is super young. And I was not afraid to say how I was really feeling when I decided that I needed to get help. I'm not going to talk about what happened because it is very personal, but one day I will be sharing that story. But I was so brave. I was so tired of living my life the way I was living it, of feeling the way I was feeling. And I knew that wasn't me. I knew that wasn't me because I am such a loving person. I am such a happy person. I am such a vibrant person. And the depression that I was in was like ruining my life. And most people are afraid to say how they really feel, but I knew like I need to say how I really feel or I'm not going to change. And that was like my first step in being aware / self-aware. I was so honest with how I felt and my intentions to heal and my intentions to overcome what I needed to overcome. And I did. It was so powerful, and I'm so proud of myself because, guys, my mentor told me this, and I will never forget it. We as people only get better when we are emotionally honest. Your honesty is your power. Your truth is your power. And that is the only way you will be able to move forward, is to sit in your truth and be aware / self-aware of what is happening, what you feel, what you think, who you are, who you want to be, who is in your life. That is the only way. So, yes, I was very determined to heal. And that's why I'm telling you guys, I really want you to be grounded in love, grounded in hope, grounded in passion, grounded in compassion, self-compassion for yourself while you do this journey, because I was already grounded in that to begin with, and it has been the best thing ever. I would say that I am highly self-aware. I am highly aware / self-aware. I do have my flaws. I am human. I do have my flaws and I do have my hiccups here and there, but overall, I have consistently been rebuking certain things in my life, certain thought patterns, certain actions, and I have seen the result of that, of just being strong, of saying no, of saying I choose better for myself, and it has been amazing. But also, guys, it has been hard. There have been periods that have been very overwhelming, that have been very scary, because that's one thing I want to highlight. We confuse the victories with fear. What is the victory? The victory, honestly, is you saying, I've made mistakes. The victory is you saying, I'm a bad person. I mean, that is horrible to say, but we've all been bad people at one point. Yes or no? Anyone who says no is lying. We have all been mean to someone, mean to ourselves. We've all done things that we're not proud of. And it is a victory to admit to that. It is a victory to say, you know what? The way I'm doing my life right now is not okay and is not getting me to where I want to be. I need to change. That is the victory. But we confuse that with fear because of pride. Our pride will be like, no, it's not. No, it's not. Our ego will be like, oh my God, that's not true. Oh, so you're saying you're a loser. You're saying this. No, that is not the truth. Stop confusing the victories with fear. Once you stop doing that, you are set to go, because this process is not for the weak. I'm just going to tell you that right now. It is not for the weak, and it is going to be hard, but trust me, you will break free. For me, it has been more rewarding for me to be honest with myself and others than to live a lie. I have found that whenever I was honest with myself and others, I received like double, triple times the love, because I broke free of that. It is the most rewarding thing you can do for yourself, is to be honest. So I just want to leave that there with you guys, and I really hope that this episode taught you something, and most of all empowered you to start working on cultivating the skill of being aware / self-aware. And that is it for today's video and the first episode of the 5 Pillars of Empowered Psychology series. In the next video, I will be sharing an amazing journal entry that I created that has helped me develop my skill of becoming aware / self-aware. And it is very, very amazing. The healing that you will experience through this journal entry I created is honestly life-changing. So I'm so excited to share that with you guys. And I want to thank you for tuning in to today's episode and for supporting me and my beautiful platform, Empowered Psychology. I look forward to seeing y'all in the next one. I love you guys. Bye.